All right, guys. So what this video is basically about is the process of where ideas come from, how thinking actually works here. Okay. So you don't think your ways to ideas. You need a new thinking model, right? So the basic principle of this lecture here is what we are taught and what the reality of how thinking actually works and examples of brilliant minds using this model as well. So basically what we're taught in school here is when it comes to this side, you're supposed to research. Step one is to research. Then you come to step two, you plan. Then step three would be the action, right? That is wrong. We were taught wrong how to think this way. Okay. The process does not equal the idea, guys. It will never equal the idea. That creates too much friction here. Okay. We want to make this as frictionless as possible. And right over here is a scientific method, right? So right over here, we have research, hypothesis, test, and the result. And what they say is that that would equal the idea, right? You're wrong. That is wrong. That does not equal the idea. This is correct if you want to test something. However, when the idea comes to you, you want to go backwards here and then you can test it. But doing this process from research to result does not create an idea, guys. It does not. Okay. So how thinking actually works, guys. Okay. It just comes to you naturally. Always naturally. Anything natural is always the best way. Okay. So when you get insight, you get that light bulb. You know, you're out on a walk or you're just daydreaming and then you suddenly get a brilliant idea or some type of, illusion of clarity to some degree. That is your insight, right? And then you can move it down to structure. Insight should not equal effort. Okay, guys? You should not be doing this with effort. What I mean by that is you shouldn't be really trying hard to think or come up with ideas. This should be frictionless. This should be natural. That's how these other brilliant minds have done it in the previous past. Okay. And that creates, makes you stuck in some cases, right? So why does that make you feel stuck? Because it's forced thinking. You don't want to force anything at all. Never force anything. You'll never get insight or not as much as, naturally. And you will create frustration as well. So frustration will come along with this because you're not getting the result, right? We all want results. That's the name of the game, right, guys? And what's the solution to this? One of the main solutions is to stop forcing things, right? I keep mentioning that. Don't force anything in life, especially thinking. As basic as this looks, it's not. It can be complicated, but it can also be very, very easy if you just let things come to you. I'm going to show you how. Creating space. When you create space, creates more slack on the rope. With more slack, you can create more tension. Okay? That creates space for the ideas to come first. That creates more opportunity for better ideas to come through you, right? Through a divine consciousness. And what do I mean by that? It's tapping into like a natural state, kind of like a flow state, but it's a little bit different. More of a passive thinking, more of that kind of model, right? What I mean by that? Einstein. We all know who Einstein is. We all know how brilliant of a mind he is. He never forced anything, He never researched plan or he never did this order. No brilliant mind in history, guys. No brilliant mind has ever done this order right here. This is wrong and this is what we were taught. Okay. Why we are taught this? It's because this is the scientific method. This is good to prove something, but this does not create an idea. How these people created these things, these inventors, these great minds, they went backwards from the scientific method. Okay. So Einstein imagined things before proving it. He just daydreamed, and he just came up with these ideas. He never really put his foot to the pedal and really sat down, focused. He just daydreamed, went on walks, very, very passive, kind of lazy almost, James Watson, brilliant mind, the inventor of the double helix model, the DNA model right over here, guys. Okay. How did that come to him? That came through his dream. He had a dream about it, of the staircase, right? He put it to the test, and that's how he created the helix model. Very interesting, very passive. But that also comes with his subconscious mind as well. So very passive. Subconscious is passive, right? Jack Northrop, right? This guy, he's the inventor of the B-2 stealth bomber, one of the world's deadliest aircrafts, one of the most expensive as well. How did he come up with that? Did he use this method, guys, to create one of the world's deadliest, you know, military aircrafts? Never. He did not use this, guys. Okay? He let insight come to him. How? He was in nature. You know what he observed and what he reverse engineered? He reverse engineered a falcon, the way it flew, its pattern. He used its engineering, its nature, and used it as one of the world's deadliest aircrafts. How did he do that? He just observed nature. Very passive. He was just out and about. He saw that. And the peregrine falcon is one of the world's fastest animals on the planet. I think it's fast, right? And if you see a model, I might pull up a picture here on the screen. If you see the model, they look identical. Like they really look identical side by side. And that's from him observing nature. Okay. That was just insight coming to him. He did not sit in a lab and study and do all that. No, everything just came through a divine consciousness, through a divine plane. And he was probably walking in nature, right? Anything that incorporates, heating up, the more heat you create, something like on a walk, your body heats up, right? When your body heats up, you can change things. The molecules are moving more. With more motion, you can create more thoughts. Okay. So a simple walk can create a lot of these things, guys. You really want to put this to the test. Okay. So yeah, this is my lecture of, basic thinking here, guys. Okay. Have I used this to my personal use? I have, and it works because I've created some really, really interesting, other presentations I want to talk about. And that came just from, letting things come to me naturally. And it might seem silly, but try it out for yourself, guys, and let me know in the comments. All right. See you guys soon.